So I don't know if you have any memorable stories, or have you got any stories from, any incidents of people you took on board, or any cargo you like, that was a weird one, or anything like that, Rob?
Hmm. Well, there are things that come to mind as far as I would always try and bring people up to the front if we could. Obviously, nothing around the carrier. If we're doing a cat shot, I'm not even sure who's getting in the back of my airplane half the time,
Oh, do you not?
unless we it, not other than here's a list of names. I mean, I don't like I'm not meeting
Ah,
them.
okay.
Okay?
Right,
If we're
right.
on the ship turning, we kind of look at it and say, okay, cool. I know about who's there. If somebody important's there, we're told that, but I don't meet and greet them every time. Even we would in we call it home guard, but in Virginia, when we would fly to the carrier like on a Saturday or something, just to go and fly something to the ship, a lot of times we would start the airplane, which you can imagine this makes sense. We do it as a crew by ourselves, and then we would taxi over to a special building where the distinguished visitors were kept while they were pampered and given cold waters and stuff, and then we'd basically swing around and pick them up. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Is that if our plane broke, before we went to started it up or while we're starting it up, and then obviously it just saves everyone the agony and the stress. It's not like flying commercial. Obviously, can get very hot and you're sweaty or cold depending on the season. But when we did get kind of flying, especially if we're taking off from land and we're flying to the carrier and we had a little bit of a stretch, I would absolutely bring people up to the front. There's really nothing
Oh,
secret in our cockpit other than a few things that we would kind of cover up about like location for the ship. And I mean, especially if we had new sailors on, people that just joined the military, or I talked about teachers before, these distinguished visitors, people that weren't really familiar with the military and they've barely flown commercial, let alone never seen a cockpit on a British Airways or a Delta jet.
yeah.
And now I'm bringing them to the front. Like, hey, we have literally a bucket. We're like, put a bucket there. Hey, let's check this out, and wrote them in for 5 minutes. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, when it was time to do business around the carrier, we would have to put everyone back in their seat and then kind of focus on the job at hand. So I enjoyed that aspect to it. I enjoyed kind of being an ambassador for, I don't know, our country or just the Navy in general, or naval aviation in general. And I enjoyed that. And maybe that's what led to me showing things off on YouTube to kind of, give the C2 some love that it has been deserving for a long time.